Spurs are anything but brilliant. Do you see any signs whatsoever that suggest De Zerbi can turn things around?
Do you know, when they started the game, right, I did think that there was a couple of opportunities where they flooded men forward and they nice patterns of play. I think they had a chance quite early on. And I did think, okay, I think Richarlison had the shot. They rolled it into me as a shot, and I thought, okay, it looks a bit better. But then all of a sudden, it turned, and again, too many players in the Spurs team not taking accountability. I mean, Cristian Romero, like, I know. Listen, I hope he's okay for the World Cup. It looks like he's damaged his knee. I feel for him in that regard, right? But he don't help himself because he's their captain. He's supposed to show a level of like poise and a little bit of leadership. He gets himself booked and he's still flying into challenges early. Flying into challenges.
Yeah.
Like you just can't trust him. Van der Ven as well. The bit I didn't get the whole tears, but I'm thinking now, thinking back to it, it's probably Romero with the World Cup. That's why he's crying, thinking, "Oh my goodness, what have I done?" But the second half they weren't good enough. I thought Sunderland were outstanding without having to do too much. I thought they were outstanding. I thought Robbie used his body really well. He was strong. He was holding them up. They couldn't live with him. He kept getting runners in behind as well. And in the end, the right team won. But when you're down there at the bottom, I mean, the goal from Mukiele, that happens, doesn't it? When you're down there at the bottom, I mean, that deflection can go anywhere.
Yeah.
And it just goes in the other corner.
Yeah.
They've got big problems because I quite like what De Zerbi did by playing the three up top. And when you look at that three, I thought, okay, I'm not quite sure because you are playing three centre forwards in a system up top, but they all want to play down the middle. But then I thought, you know what, that might actually work really well because Richarlison's still trying to get himself in the World Cup squad for Brazil. Solanke's trying to get himself in the World Cup squad for England.
Yeah.
And Carlo Mawani trying to get himself in the French squad. So I thought three players hungry, got something to play for, give them a little bit of bite or something, but nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I was surprised Simmons came on so late. I'm not his biggest fan, but I do think out of all the players, I know we were talking about Bergwijn earlier on, good player, right? But I just think him with Conor Gallagher, I just didn't think worked. I thought Spurs were desperate to get someone on the pitch that had the key to unlock their defence, and I didn't see any signs of that whatsoever.
When you got Gallagher, Gray and Bergwijn, and by the way, Archie Gray, he's someone who, at the end of the season, regardless of what happens to Tottenham, he's someone that can walk away with his head held high.
Yeah,
every game he's out there.
Yeah.
But where's the creativity? Where's the creativity in that?
That's what I'm saying.
You look at the whole front six, really. Kolo Muani, Solanke, Richarlison, Gallagher, Bergwijn, Gray. Where's the creativity?
There isn't.
There isn't any.
That's why I was surprised he didn't play a bigger part of the game.
But again, I think for Javi Simmons though, in that type of game, when you're up against Diarra, Xhaka, Siddiqui,
they've got a big ball.
Them men have run all over you. Like the way that they would get, like Robbie was holding the ball and they had runners everywhere. Runners.
We're going to take calls. I know Spurs fans want to have their say. A simple question: are Spurs going to stay up? They are now 2 points from safety.
I mean, the next game's massive, isn't it? Against Brighton.
The next two would define their season.
Yeah, well, obviously, because I would have after that 5.
Yeah, but I think Wolves after Brighton. I think that those two.
Do you know what, potentially, right?
Home against Brighton, away against Wolves. Yeah,
that is the worst fixture you could have because you're playing against a Wolves side that are effectively down, that are playing nothing to play for, and they play with. Again, I've played for teams right where you've been relegated, and the last part of the season you're just like, you know what? Let's just bit of pride, and it's almost like the pressure's been taken off.
Yeah, handbrakes off. Yeah.
You play with that freedom. And Wolves, with some of the players they've got, they can call Spurs all kind of problems.
Are they down?
I don't think so, not yet.
Okay, I do.
You've been saying that for a while.
Yeah, I think Chelsea will relegate them. Let's take your calls on all things Spurs. 03717 223344. Luke is a Spurs fan. Hello, Luke.
How you doing, gents? You okay?
We're okay. How are you? I mean, it's going from worse to worse, isn't it? You've gone past the bad bit. It's now worse to worse.
Yeah, Andy. So I'm a regular caller. And I came on in the past as well and spoke to Jim and Simon in the morning. And I think it was January, I said to them, I said, boys, we're down. And the reason you could tell is because we were just flat as a pancake and couldn't see when that next win was going to come from, or even the goals. We don't even shoot outside the box, Andy. This is a team that's desperate and we don't even try to test the goalkeeper. You don't lay a glove on them.
I mean, you had... 11 shots yesterday, 7 on target?
Okay. Let's have a look at those shots though, Darren. How soft were they? You know? It was
yeah.
Were
There's
they
a couple
really
that
shots?
Richarlison was like passing back. Yeah, Richarlison was guilty of that.
You know? So that's no disrespect to him as a striker, because you can see confidence is low. But you're looking for players like, I'm disappointed in Solanke. He doesn't press. It's hard to get into the game, and I'm thinking, come on, Dom, you're pushing for the England team. Why aren't you grabbing the press? Why are you not pressing? Why? They all look slow. They all look so slow, and what's the word? I would think the word out of sorts is definitely there, but lacking fitness, you know?
They just look scared, don't they? They look scared.
Yeah, that's it. Petrified is the word, I think would be a fair comment.
Are you down?
I want to see them 100%, yeah, 100%.
down.
And do you know what, Andy? It's, for me, I said it before to Jim when I was on here before. They said, well, what do you think the reasons are? Okay, you're going to find out, because when Daniel Levy left, I said, now is the time you're going to find out whether it's Levy or whether it's Enoch.
Yeah.
And Enoch did not support him in January. You get rid of a right winger who's just won you a European trophy with one goal, and you've got injured another one, and you've got no one else to replace them. And it's not, who's making these decisions, Andy?
Yeah. Luke, listen, thanks for coming on. Out of the two shows you went on, White and Jordan, this one, which is the better experience?
You two all day.
Yeah,
all day.
Top of the pile, you go. Thanks, Luke. Good luck. Let's speak to Marcus, Spurs fan. Hi, Marcus.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, we're good, mate. You?
We're okay. Well, Bent is not actually, but I'm fine.
I'm surviving, but it could be better, and it could be a lot better. Let's just say.
Can it get better?
Yeah. How about relegation? We start all over again.
No, you don't want that, Marcus.
Well,
No
down.
way.
Well, can I just say, right? If last season we finished 17th, right, and there were 3 teams worse than us, 12 months later we are now one of the 4 worst teams. In fact, we're first from bottom now.
Yeah.
So we haven't improved in a season. Normally, if a team finishes 17th one season, they struggle the following season, they generally go down. But somehow people think, because it's Tottenham, we can't do it.
That's right.
Well, sorry to burst the bubbles, but we can do it, and we will do it. We've been poor for 2 years. I mean, look, the weekend's lineup, right? The 3 up front, Moani, Solanke, and Richarlison. I mean, between the 3 of them, haven't got double figures in goals. Well, I think Richarlison's got 7 or 8, but other than that, Solanke might have 2. So if we have got double figures amongst 3 strikers, think about that, and they're all international players.
Yeah, but you've also got to think as well. Only one can play. Well, I mean, I know they all played at the weekend, but usually it's one that plays. Solanke's been missing. Solanke's been missing for a while this season with injury.
Well, what? So he's saying that if he was fit, we'd be at somewhere up the table. Are you saying he would have scored the goals to keep us up?
Oh, I think it'd have been better. I think it would have been better than 3 Premier League goals he's got this season. Yeah.
Well, we'll never know, will we? But based on the fact he's been there since last season, injury prone, this year injury prone. I mean, how many excuses do people give him? Oh, he's always injured. He's only injured. He was injured last year for a lot of the time. And as for Richarlison, if you consider the guy at Brentford, is it Igor
Thiago.
The Brentford?
Thiago.
Yeah, right. Brazilian guy. He scored more goals in 2 seasons at Brentford than Richarlison at 4 years at Tottenham. Work that out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Thiago's been unbelievable, by the way. 21 goals this season for Brentford. But again, listen, they've got 3 strikers there. I like Solanke.
If Spurs lose against Brighton,
Yep.
are they down?
No. Listen, if there's a gap where one win doesn't get you...
What's the gap?
5 points.
I was thinking exactly that.
If they get to 5 points, they're not bringing that back.
So if they lose at the weekend and West Ham win...
And that's the 5.
I think West Ham have got a tricky game. Is it Villa? Have I made that up? I know that West Ham have got a difficult away game.
Well, Spurs, currently as it stands right now, they are on. Spurs are on.
Oh, is it Palace? I think, is it Palace? West Ham Palace?
Hey, you don't want that. Now
Palace
Big John's back.
It's Palace next, yeah.
You don't want him. Philip Mateta.
Yeah.
2 good goals. But no, yeah, if that turns to 5 points,
Yeah.
done. But the thing is, Leeds are on 33, Forest are on 33, West Ham 32, Spurs are on 30.
You'd expect Leeds not to get points tonight at Old Trafford, wouldn't you?
You would, but even with Leeds, right? Leeds are having a good run, but they're not winning games. They just draw. I mean, listen, drawing the foundations.
Leeds Spurs is massive.
Massive.
Yeah.